Welcome dear students of grade 11 Business and Accounting Studies class of St. Peter's College, Colombo 4 Nicaragua branch. We were discussing about the financial statements, and in our previous lesson we have discussed about how to prepare the profit or loss statement. Today we will be looking at the next statement, which is called the statement of financial position. So as you know, in the profit or loss statement, we presented the financial performance of a business. But in the statement of financial position, by the name itself, it says this particular statement shows the financial position of the business as at a particular date. So unlike the profit or loss statement, which is prepared for a period of time, the SOFP is prepared as at a particular date. This particular statement shows the asset, liability and equity position of the business. Or else we can say the financial strength of the business. Are the assets of the business is adequate to settle its liabilities and to pay off what is owed to the owner. So therefore this statement includes the assets, liabilities and the equity of the business as at a particular date. Now in grade 10 you have learned the elements of accounting, and there we have learned 5 main elements. They are called assets, liabilities, equity, income and expenses. And from out of those 5, we have already taken into our consideration the income and expenses, and those 2 elements were already included in the profit or loss statement, and the remaining 3 elements, that is assets, liabilities and equity, will come into the statement of financial position. So therefore these 3 are called the elements of financial position. So let's look at these elements again, because we have learned these in grade 10, but to refresh you again, we will be discussing these elements now. First, we have the assets. So what is an asset? An asset is a resource controlled by a business as a result of a past transaction, and from which the future economic benefits will inflow to the business. So that is how the assets are defined in accounting. So in assets we can categorize them into 2. One is the non-current assets and the other one is the current assets. So usually the assets which are not intended to be converted into cash within the next 1 year is coming under non-current assets, but the assets which are expected to be converted during the period of 1 year comes under the current assets. So the examples, one example for each is given here. Building is a non-current asset, as well as trade debtors comes under current assets. Then we have the next element called liabilities. So as you know, liability is an obligation of a business which arose as a result of a past transaction, as well as the settlement of which will result in an outflow of resources which would generate future economic benefits to the business. So as the assets, liabilities also can be divided into 2. They are non-current liabilities and the current liabilities. So non-current liabilities are the liabilities which are due to be settled after 1 year period, and the current liabilities are due to be settled within the within the period of 1 year. So the examples again, a long-term bank loan will come under non-current liabilities, and the trade creditors will come under current liabilities. Then the third element is called equity, and you know equity is what is belong to the owners of the business. So once the external liabilities are settled from the assets of the business, whichever the residual will go to the owner, and that is called the equity. So how can the equity increase? Now when preparing the profit or loss statement, we learned that due to profits, the equity will increase, and if by any chance if it becomes a loss, the equity will decrease. Not only due to that, as well as if the owner is introducing additional capital, again the equity will increase. But if the owner draws money or goods from the business, the equity will decrease. So those are the three elements which comes for the SOFP, and let's look at the format of the SOFP. Like in the profit or loss statement, here also you can see there is a particular format for which we have to prepare the SOFP. So you can see at the very first line we need to mention the name of the business and to mention what is this statement. So this is the statement of financial position. So you have to include the name of the statement in the second line, and in the third line as at which date we are preparing this statement. So this is prepared as at 31st December. Usually the SOFP is prepared as at the last day of the period in consideration. Then we have two value columns and one description narration column. First we need to mention the non-current assets in the SOFP. So you can see the heading non-current assets, and under that we have to line up the non-current assets, and in the first value column the individual values of these different categories of non-current assets are given. Then the subtotal will take to the second column. Thereafter, if we have long-term investments, we can mention it separately under the non-current assets. Thereafter, we can mention the current assets. So current assets also we can list down here. It is lined up based on their liquidity. The least liquid current assets will be lined up at the top, and the highest liquid assets will come to the bottom. So cash is the most liquid asset, so it is the last item coming under the current assets. So the individual values will be mentioned in the first column and the subtotal will be taken into the second column. So the total of non-current assets, the investments as well as the current assets is taken here, and put double lines here and say that it is the total assets. Then we'll come to the next part, and in the second segment we will mention the equity and liabilities. And first we talk about the equity here. The opening capital, as at the beginning of the period how much is the capital is mentioned here. Then we will add whatever the items will increase capital. the net profit, or else if there are additional capital injections, we can put it here and take the subtotal in the first column itself. Thereafter, we will mention the items which reduces the owner's capital. So here we have drawings. If by any chance, if it is a loss instead of a profit, it will come here. So then the subtotal will take to the second column. After the equity, we will mention the non-current liabilities like long-term bank loans. If they are, we can mention it. If there is only one item, we can straightforward take it to the second column. But if there are more than one line items, we can put the individual values in the first column and take the subtotal to the second column. After the non-current assets, after the non-current liabilities, we have the current liabilities. So here you can see the current liabilities are listed. The individual values will be taken into the first column and the subtotal will take to the second column. Then the total of equity and liabilities. The equity total, the non-current liabilities total and the current liabilities total will add up together, and it will give you the total equity and liabilities value. And the most important thing in the SOFP is the total equity and liabilities value should be equal to the total asset value. Okay, so this is the format of the SOFP. So let's look at the activity number 9 in your textbook, page number 65. In that activity, there are certain items for Sarani's business is given, and now we are going to prepare the SOFP of Sarani's business based on the given information here. So as you did in the profit or loss statement or profit or loss statement previously, here also when you see that the requirement is to prepare the SOFP, first we need to set up the format. So what you have to do first is to mention the name of the business. So here you can see it says the Sarani's business, and the name of the statement is given, the statement of financial position, and as at which date we are preparing this statement. According to the given details, we are required to prepare the SOFP as at the 31st December of that particular year. So that is the date of SOFP, and the format is set up first here, and you can put the subheadings leaving enough space to mention the line items, so that you can write down non-current assets, leave some space, say for about 5 to 6 lines, and then go to the current assets, leave some space, go to the equity and liabilities, again leave some space, and then write down the non-current assets and also the non-current liabilities and also the current liabilities. So let's look at the items given in the activity. First we have the capital as at 1st of January of that particular year. So that is the opening capital, and it will come under equity and liabilities, the very first line under the equity and liabilities, and the value is 320,000. Then the next line item is land and building, which is a non-current asset. So you can see the land and buildings is mentioned under non-current assets 340,000. Then again another non-current asset, furniture, 92,000. Then we have the stocks, which is a current asset. So we can see the closing stocks, it's 56,000 mentioned under the current assets. Then trade debtors, again a current assets, comes below the closing stock, which is 48,000. Then we have the drawings, which will reduce the owner's capital and mentioned under equity and liabilities section. Here you can see drawings for 15,000. It's deducted from the capital. Then the next line item is investment, again a non-current asset. So you can see under non-current assets, under the fixed non-current assets, you can see the long-term investment is mentioned here for 60,000. Then we have cash, which is a current asset. Here under current assets, cash is mentioned for 24,000. Then again we have machinery, which comes under non-current assets again, 40,000. Then the next one is net profit for the year, which will increase the owner's capital. So it is added up to the opening capital, it's 140,000. Then we have a bank loan, a 5-year bank loan, which is a non-current asset. Non-current liability, which comes under equity and liabilities, and after the owner's equity, the non-current liabilities, you have the bank loan for 80,000. Then the trade creditors, which is a current liability, so it comes after the non-current liabilities, the current liabilities section. You can see the trade creditors for 80,000. Again a bank overdraft is there, comes under current liabilities again, so you can see it's 35,000 here. Then the last item is the accrued expenses, again a current liability, comes under the current liabilities section. You can see it's 20,000. So we have recorded all the individual items. Now we have to do the additions. So you can see the non-current assets have been added up here, and it comes to 472,000. Thereafter the long-term investment is there, 60,000. Then the current assets is added up, it comes to 128,000. The non-current assets, the long-term investments, and the current assets, all three items have been added up again and comes to the total assets value, which is 660,000. So that is the total asset value of the business as at 31st December of that particular year. And then we'll come to the equity and liability section. The net profit is added to the opening capital and drawings has been deducted from the capital, and finally the closing capital value comes to 445,000. And there you have a bank loan, non-current liability. Then the current liabilities total is taken here, 135,000. The closing capital value, the non-current liabilities value, and the current liabilities total is again added up, and that value comes to 660,000 as the equity and liabilities value as at 31st December of that particular year. So you can see the asset value is also 660,000 and the equity and liabilities total is also 660,000. So you can see the asset value equal to the addition of equity and liabilities values. So that is how you should prepare the SOFP. So you have a homework to do here. So you can do the activity number 10 in your textbook, page number 66 for your homework, and check whether you can do that. But in the next lesson, we'll discuss about this activity. So thank you very much and God bless you.